Every month, GameRanks covers a slew of new iOS and Android games. I'm Falcon, and today on GameRanks, the best free iOS and Android games of May 2017. Quick disclaimer, this is only free games. If you're looking for paid games, we do a separate video of that. It has already been posted for the month, so check it out. Number 10 is Hello Kitty Music Party, a rhythm-based clicker. Well, let's just go ahead and say this, that was a really good idea. Now, very clearly, the imagery of Hello Kitty is geared towards children, and, well, let's be frank, girls. They're very clearly trying to get little girls to play this game, but you have no shame in playing this game. It's a good clicker. If you like clickers and you like rhythm games, this is a good synthesis of those two ideas. And frankly, there's a lot of stuff in the clicker genre I think that is good, but it also fails to be particularly interesting unless you combine it with something else, and this is one of those instances where exactly that has happened, and it's exactly what I'm saying. It really works. A clicker plus another genre is basically a magic formula. Well, as long as you get it right, and Hello Kitty Music Party does. Number 9 is Battle Islands Commanders, which is a game that takes the concept of Clash Royale, places it in a more realistic setting, albeit not too realistic, switches the orientation of the game board, and uses battle units that are much more in the realm of, well, possible. It's actually not unfair with its premium currency. Now, this game is a lot of fun, it's got a good style to it, it's pretty cool looking at all times, but it does have a few performance-related issues that, well, pertain to both glitching as well as your Wi-Fi signal. Sometimes, for whatever reason, it has difficulty staying connected. However, the game is a lot of fun, especially if you like Clash Royale-style micro RTSs, and 505 Games is in the process of working on these issues. They've acknowledged them, and that means they're working in good faith. So really give it a shot, see what you think. I thought it was pretty good. Number 8 is Blitz Brigade Rival Tactics, and it is another game cut from the ilk of Clash Royale. Now, that doesn't mean it's not worth playing. It takes a 3D isometric perspective and adds in some interesting ideas of its own. It has a great art style, and one thing I particularly like about it is the variants in arenas. They all have that general two-side, two-bridge layout, but they really carry a visual distinction that I don't think any other of these games really has. And I just gotta bring up the isometric view again. It really works well for this kind of a game and sort of brings a more, I don't know, interesting viewpoint to this genre. I struggle to tell you that it's really, truly astoundingly different than Clash Royale, but it's different enough and it plays very smoothly that I really enjoyed it. Number 7 is Dungeon Incorporated, a depth-oriented clicker game which brings you a battle system, a raiding system, and most importantly, it rewards active maintenance of all of your assets. On top of that, there's a multiplayer element. You can actually fight your friends in it, you can raid their dungeons, you can take their treasure, and frankly, it really works well. These last few months, people have been doing a ton of stuff with clicker games, a lot of genre mixing, a lot of interesting stuff, considering the fact that a year or so ago, clickers were just literally what they sounded like, mindless clicking. This kind of development is great, and this is a great example of it. Number 6 is Iron Blade Medieval Legends, an action RPG that takes a sort of innovative approach to combat. In a lot of ways, it reminds me of Batman Arkham Asylum, if there were a lot of swiping and tapping. Now, keeping that in mind, it is not the most innovative thing you've ever played. It still contains a lot of action RPG conventions, and in my opinion, that is a good thing. They didn't try to rock the boat too much, they just tried to give you a unique experience, and I think it all balances out to a pretty good one. This is a game with great graphics, an interesting, if not somewhat typical skill upgrade tree, but the gameplay itself actually works out in such an interesting way, with great special attacks and finishing moves. It gives you some good gameplay that's going to keep you entertained for quite a while. Number 5 is Terminator Genisys Future War, which is a base building game that I think, in all actuality, the reason this game is set apart from other games like it is not the fact it's a licensed game. It actually defies type regarding that, in that it doesn't really overtly jam its license in your face too badly. It actually seems fairly natural, but the thing that works out so well is that this game is very simple. It doesn't crowd you with explanation, it just drops you into it, gives you a few quick pointers, has a good crafting system, has units that make the game itself interesting as well as worthwhile. I'm not gonna say that this game is particularly innovative, it's just a really good example of the type of game it is. Number 4 is War of Crown, a tactical RPG in the vein of Fire Emblem or perhaps Final Fantasy Tactics that gives you all the kinds of depth that you might expect from that type of a game. In fact, I would even say that this pretty much beats the mobile Fire Emblem games. You have a lot of choices in how you're gonna play the game: PvE, PvP, story, adventure, and a arena mode that is actually a lot of fun. However, my primary interest in this game is in its story, and although it is not going to rock your world with originality, it's a well-told story, it's interesting, and you get to know a lot of different characters. In all seriousness, even though in recent years we've seen some new ones, there is still a big lack of tactical RPGs like this, and War of Crown really fills the void better than even the Fire Emblem games on mobile do. Number 3 is Survival Arena, which takes an interesting take on the tower defense genre that kind of melds it with Clash of Clans and just generally tries to infuse different gameplay in what is a genre that has been thoroughly explored already. I think it actually manages to succeed as well. It's just the right balance between tower defense and base building to where it really feels like a satisfying experience, and between all the bosses and the PvP, it'll probably keep you busy for quite a while. It's fun, it's fast, and it actually feels fresh. I didn't intend to do 3 Fs there, but I don't really care. It's a good game, try it. Number 2 is Battle Bay, a new game from the Angry Birds developers Rovio that is nothing like their other releases. This is an online MOBA. It's real time. It's essentially a shooter on waves. This one kind of took me by surprise because it's really, really, really good on every level. I was shocked. If you'd have told me about this last month, I would have scoffed at you, but really, give it a shot. It is freaking phenomenal. And finally, number 1 is Pokemon Magikarp Jump, which is, believe it or not, really cool. Oddly enough, they kind of market it on the idea that Magikarp is dumb, but I think they're kind of doing a disservice to the game because it's actually pretty unique. It's about training your Magikarp to be able to jump the highest, obviously, and although it involves some clicker-oriented gameplay, you'll notice not very much of the materials say it's a clicker. That's because it is actually a little bit more than that. The game itself spends a lot of time poking fun at Magikarp, and I would say that that's almost the reason you might like it, as well as obviously the league battles. Getting enough jump points to win a league battle is, it's a little bit ridiculous. In fact, the whole thing is just a little bit ridiculous in a good way, and I think that other than if you just totally hate clickers, there's enough interesting stuff here, as well as a really, really thick, layered sense of humor that constantly makes fun of the pitiful Magikarp. This is one I think you'll enjoy. Couple of bonus games for you. Injustice 2 is here, which brings the superhero fighting experience to another level. Yes, it is as fun as the first, if not better, and is certainly worth your time to try. It's free and it's great. What was your favorite free iOS or Android game this month? Leave a comment, let us know, and if you enjoyed this video, please click like. If you're not subscribed, now would be a great time to do so. On account, we upload brand new videos every single day of the week. The best way to see them first is a subscription. As always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter @FalconTheHero, and we'll see you next time right here on GameRanks.